we have data governance, data privacy, data policy, data strategy, data quality, a lot of data. All these are important topics that are not really talked about, but are very, very crucial. Our next speaker has over 20 years of experience in the areas of data governance, data quality, master data management, ETL, data migration, and data integration. He has worked on projects worldwide in Europe, Middle East, and right here in Africa. He enables organizations across the world to proactively manage their data assets and address their challenges to gain more value from data. He currently provides advisory and consulting services on data strategy, governance, quality, and master data management. Please help me invite and welcome our next speaker, Mr. Jose Almeida. Thank you so much, Jose, for joining us.
Thank you, Claire. Okay, it's a pleasure. So I'd like to, first of all, to thank you and Elaine for the invite and for the opportunity to share some of my thoughts on data analytics and AI in the African context. So as you mentioned, my name is Almeida. I'm a data consultant. With all those years of experience, and I'll focus on all those areas that start with data. So data strategy, governance, quality, master data management. And for the last 6 years, I've been working on the African market together with local partners across a few different countries in the continent, and that gave me a good perspective of the potential that we are working with. Not so much on the AI, which is your focus here, but how to enable it. And just to start. We sometimes think that Africa may have arrived late to the previous industrial revolutions, but I do believe that is in a great position to drive and embrace this new global digital revolution. So this fourth industrial revolution, and this transformation that is anchored on technologies such as AI, 5G, blockchain, IoT, all the cloud. This is pushing most of the organizations to each one in its own way to push and be able to make data a true business enabler. So at this point, much of Africa's AI and analytics wealth has been somehow pushed by the COVID-19 pandemic that accelerated the digital transformation across most of the countries in the continent. We can almost talk about a boom in the awareness and on the usage of data in these last 2 years, and in fact it shows because most of the African business leaders I'm in touch with are very optimistic about the potential of AI, the potential of analytics, and transforming the continent, and that they are actively investing in the technology so they can benefit from all the advantages that data can bring to business. And it's not just those African business leaders that they are not the only ones aware of the potential of the African market, and we can see in these last few years the large investments that tech giants like Google, Amazon, IBM, or Microsoft are doing in the either in infrastructure or even in the human capital development. Uh, Only that when we're talking about data, usually technology is not the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge it's usually on data, how it is used, and how available it is. So today I'll focus on addressing these two topics: how to make reliable data or available within the organizations, and how to make sure that the data workers, especially data scientists, can perform better at their jobs. From my experience, almost at least the African organizations I've worked with, they lack quality data, data that is treated and refined, that is reliable, and this lack of usable data is detrimental to deploy so those reliable solutions that can feed the corporate decision processes. So these organizations have already apprehended the importance of data analytics in their business, and they are looking deeper into data, into their data, to gain some competitive advantage, implementing machine learning, artificial intelligence to achieve those new business objectives that are coming up in these last few years, and also to be able to move ahead of competitors in each of their industries. So the adoption of AI and machine learning is being critically impaired by this necessity of high quality data, and changes must be made organization wide to identify and reduce these pouches of bad data, and to create the mechanisms that allow the organization to adapt quickly to their native needs, and being able to embrace the full potential of these new technologies. The business benefits of AI are obvious, with companies having larger and larger volumes of raw data available to them, with increasing computing power, real-time processing speeds. So any organization can in fact start their own AI strategy. However, from starting to being able to deliver a successful AI strategy, there goes a distance. So this capability to build a secure, centralized, and most of all scalable data repository, being able to combine these large volumes of disparate data from multiple data sources, is the first challenge that they need to overcome. And also, data is still the biggest challenge when we're employing new technologies, and the impact of data-driven decision is larger than ever before. So the availability of high-quality data is a paramount for the technology to have the right impact, and it's never enough to emphasize the critical role, roles that data governance and data quality play in these processes. So prior to any investment on AI, the a data governance and a data quality strategy must be in place to support and assure that the return of these investments. Owning and trusting data are in fact two completely different things. So the with the amounts of data available, it's being increasingly bigger and bigger. Uh, However, most of the data is not suitable or even trustable enough to make business critical decisions with. So this lack of trust in the data ends up having a twofold impact. It either inhibits the decision making, or if it doesn't, and even worse, it induces decisions that are based on false assumptions. And this is a problem that can only be solved by developing the strategies to address existing and the ongoing issues, and implementing some effective methodologies to execute that strategy. So in a way, a data governance program and structure covering the people, the processes, and the technologies that are needed to manage and protect the organization's data, uh, and to ensure that its data is understandable, it's correct, it's complete, it's reliable, it's secure, and most of all, it's discoverable across all the organization and meets those needs. And also a data quality framework that encompasses the discovery, the remediation, and the monitoring of the data quality issues can help these organizations to approach those issues that hinder the success of analytics or any machine learning or AI initiative. So this approach allows the data quality processes within the organization to be performed in a, let's say, more agile and scalable way, reducing the siloed approach or any kind of manual intervention. Uh, in the end, resulting in an overall improvement of the value returned from either from analytics or from AI. And considering that that data is one of the most critical organizational assets, making data governance and data quality the basis for any analytics or AI initiative, in fact, leverages the value of data and unlocks these new insights that are critical to create the necessary edge on a increasingly competitive business ecosystem. Uh, Another important thing, it's never to lose sight that none of these practices, either governance or quality, should be seen as an end in themselves. They are just contribute to one larger goal, that is to provide value to business and feeding the organization with the organization's decision processes with that reliable data that will allow some accurate and timely insights and decisions. Another challenge that is usually put forward when we're talking about not just AI but data in general in the African context is the scarcity of data analytics or AI talent in Africa. This put together with the efforts that most organizations are trying to make to take advantage of these emergent new business innovations, all the advances that we're having in digitization, analytics, AI, machine learning, IoT, or even robotics. this is leading to an increasing demand for people with these skills. And from my experience, and although that it is true that that some countries may not have the capacity to import this talent, or even to transfer this know-how to their people, to either lack of some educational problems or infrastructure or whatever. The truth is, and from my personal experience and what I've been witnessing, it's not so much this problem, but situations where the problem is exactly the opposite, where the talent exists. The major issue is sometimes the lack of capability to retain the talent that ends up moving to some Western countries. But even though for those who remain, and being a data scientist, I think it's may be considered the sexiest job within the data area, but it has also a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to being able to show the value that is created from their work. And most of the times, these problems or these challenges are not even directly related with their jobs. And we're talking about things like the lack of clear questions. Okay, this is often a communication problem, uh, and it happens when we try to turn a business problem into a technical problem. And when this happens, usually there's a gap in the language and the concepts that are used by either by the business stakeholders and the data scientists. However, I do believe that the causes for this run deeper, and they are also related with the lack of data literacy on the business side, and also a lack of business literacy on the data side. And with the lack of also an organization-wide clear business concepts that can be clearly mapped into data. And all of this will lead to having data scientists jumping to work on data and on jumping into tools without getting a clear understanding of the business requirements. And obviously, this will impact the final result of their work. Uh, Another of the challenges that I've been witnessing and finding in most of the places is the fact is that data is in fact inaccessible. Okay, so almost every organization has an overflowing. It's overflowing with data in silos across a very wide range of platforms of software with different formats. So handling this data, accessing, finding, and consolidating it is also, in fact, a major challenge. And finding the right data that is scattered across multiple sources, with sometimes with different and unclear business concepts, with different rules, with different levels of quality is usually dependent on that is usually dependent on manual entry of data. It all leads to very time consuming data searching, errors, repetitions, and redundancy across this data ecosystem within the organization. Another one, and it's very close to me, that has to do with data quality, as the fact that we are dealing most of the time with dirty data. And one of the biggest challenges for any data scientist is, in fact, the data preparation. Uh, it's common to hear that about 80% of data scientists' time is spent on policing and classifying data. And this is even being accepted as a part of the job, when in fact the quality of data is a responsibility of everybody in the organization. So, and adding to this, this cleansing is often performed autonomously. So we're relying on an individual judgment on what are the quality rules and how to make data compliant with those rules. And again, if they're not clear, and they're not there's no single rules across the organization. The If we try to develop insights based on this, uh, it's very hard to to achieve any reliable results. Uh, and this leads to another problem. So those insights that are being generated, in fact, are not being used in any management decisions, because as strangely as it seems, and considering the huge investments being made to create those database insights to feed the corporate processes, the insights end up being frequently ignored, with top managers centering their decisions either on their experience or basically in their gut feelings. So this issue of data is essential, and it's essential to all the data life cycle, knowing exactly what that life cycle is, what is being done to data end to end. And in a way, it's not possible to trust any data derived insight when there's no trust whatsoever in the data itself. So, having said this, how can organizations help their data scientists? So, for most of the organizations, data scientists are being placed in a very awkward situation. They're being asked to produce valuable insights based on the organization's data. Until now, that's pretty much what we should be doing. But although they're being given the technical tools and the conditions to perform this task, they're denied what I believe is the fundamental base for their work. It's meaningful, reliable, accurate, quality data. So looking at from an organizational perspective, what at the root of this problem, what we have is an asset that is not being managed. So, and organizations need to have a clear stand on managing one of its most important assets these days, which is data. So, creating the right conditions for these data insights to exist and to be trusted, and adding true value to the organization. It's in a way it's a very complex problem, and it must be approached in a, let's say, organic way within any organization, allowing a data culture to grow naturally, founded on the results that built upon uh, success stories that especially the business stakeholders and the decision makers can relate to. So knowing that any successful data strategy is necessarily a business strategy, and that data's only purpose is to create business value. So any data strategy to be put in place must be oriented towards the organization's strategic priorities and their key business objectives. Uh, and the key to achieve these business objectives and to align the data strategy and or any kind of data initiative with these objectives is to make business the driver for the data strategy. And so creating a set of initiatives that are driven and oriented by the business stakeholders and the business units, and working on use cases that are grounded on solid business cases, and allowing business to identify their needs, and knowing that, working with the business stakeholders to identify what data is necessary, what rules govern that data, the business concepts that are behind that data, the quality standards and rules that should be met. This will, in fact, remove an overload that is being assumed by data scientists, and it will, on the other hand, build the necessary trust that will allow that the insights that are in fact being produced can be turned into actionable insights, and in fact add that value that to the corporate decision processes. So again, this need to address governance and quality cannot be in a way an impediment for data initiatives. So we need to move forward, focusing on delivering the intended results, and assuring that the data quality management and governance have all along the process a major and ongoing role. Besides this, I think it's also critical to try as much as possible to use an iterative, an agile approach, and so we can, for each data initiative, to make continuous adjustments, and keep moving forward. And this will give your data initiatives the needed momentum to keep going. Okay, because we're showing results all the time, and also organizing these initiatives in small sprints with clear results will also make all these changes a lot more manageable. And being able to refocus the data initiatives, and when we're starting with small and very focused initiatives, it's surely the best approach. Not just for AI or any analytics initiative, but also when we're talking about governance and quality. So by understanding the way in which to provide an organization the framework that integrates those into those existing and sometimes very complex environments, and using the standards and allowing organizations to, let's say, work something at the tactical level, will allow to quickly have some return on the investments that are being made. So my advice is always for companies that don't have these data governance, so all this data structure in place, is to focus on the first of all on having some tactical deployments, so that they can build successes and allowing a data strategy to evolve naturally, growing on these small success stories. And thank you. I think I've exceeded my time, Claire.
Yes, thank you so much. We are super honored, and I think it's you've put a very important point across. And that point is that yes, we will try to build AI systems, we will try to run analytics, but we do need good data structures in place. We need to have good data quality, and these are the things that make a difference.
Yes,
So thank you
definitely.
so much. Yes, thank you so much for your insights. I do not know if there's anyone who has any further questions for Jose. I will share his LinkedIn in the chat below. So if you do want to reach him, please, you will be able to reach him there. Is there any other way they can be able to reach you?
Well, if they get to my LinkedIn profile, the other contacts are there, so I'm easy to find.
Okay, great.
Okay, so and
All right.
I always try to reply to every contact that is made. So it might take a few days, but in the end, I will always reach out.
Yes, and you also have a newsletter, maybe which they can also subscribe to, where you share your insights. And he always has amazing insights, guys. So make sure you
Thank you.
also go check that out when you are on his LinkedIn. Yes, thank you so much.